response. Calling all available units. We have a missing child report at the corner of 1st and 2nd Avenue. Respond with emergency traffic.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Missing. I'm your host, Scott Davis, and I want to say thank you so much for joining us. In this week's episode, we're going to be covering cases from right here in the state of Tennessee. I'll be covering a case of a non-family abduction, one of a family abduction, and I have two special cases I want to introduce to you, our viewers, and ask for your help to identify two Jane Does. Also, we're going to be introducing to you our first Dr. Stacy Safety segment, where we're going to be visiting with Ben Gibson of the Art Palmer Karate School right here in Crossville, Tennessee. Ben, along with his wife Karen, are going to demonstrate techniques on how your child can use their backpack to stay away from abductors and to get away from abductors. So we have a lot to show you in this episode, so please stick around, and hopefully you can work together with us in identifying these children and locating these children and bringing them home safely. Once again, I really appreciate you joining us. Let's don't waste any more time. Let's get right into this episode. Our first case is that of a family abduction of Timothy Landis Carter Adcock. Landis is missing out of Smithville, Tennessee, and he was reported missing by his father on February 12th of 2009. The details of his case is that Landis could possibly be with his non-custodial mother, Daisy Adcock. Reports have him traveling in a red 2002 Ford Taurus with Tennessee license plates 432 THS. The pair may also be in Louisiana, Texas, or may still be in the local Tennessee area. The case of the Campbell County, Tennessee unidentified child. It is hard to believe that a child could go missing without anybody reporting them missing, a family member, a friend, or even a neighbor. But on April 3rd of 1985, partial remains were located near Big Will Gap Road in Campbell County, Tennessee. The deceased is believed to be a white female who was be between the ages of 10 and 14 years of age at the time of her death. Hair color, eye color, height and weight could not be determined, but a pair of size 5 hiking boots were found near the remains, but it is not known if the boots belonged to the deceased. Also, a necklace and a bracelet made of plastic buttons were also found. Welcome to the Dr. Stacy Safety segment right here on The Missing. As I mentioned earlier in this episode, we're going to be visiting with Ben Gibson and his assistant, his wife Karen, at the Art Palmer School of Karate right here in Crossville, Tennessee. During the safety segment, they're going to be demonstrating on how your child can utilize their backpack as a tool to stay away from abductors and as a tool to get away from abductors. So let's don't waste any more time. Let's get over to the Art Palmer School of Karate and check in with Ben. But first, The Missing is brought to you in part by Quiznos of Crossville. Quiznos of Crossville. Toasty.
Hi, I'm Ben Gibson with Art Palmer School of Isshinryu Karate. In this segment of the section, we want to show you how to wear a backpack. If you'll notice, Karen's wearing a backpack. This is my wife. She's going to help demonstrate how we work with a backpack and how we should wear it. Backpacks are designed to where they come over both shoulders. You'll see that she has both shoulders intact and the backpack hanging in the very back of her back. However, this is not a very good design. This is not a very good way to wear your backpack. One reason is if Karen is walking away from me and I follow her, I've got her right here. She's tied up. There's not much that she can do from this position. Once I get my hand on her and I've got her in this position, all it takes is this to take her to the ground. There's not a whole lot that she can do from this position. So in the next section, what I'm going to teach you is how to wear this backpack and use it in your advantage. In the last section, we showed you the improper way to wear a backpack, the way it was designed and how you're supposed to wear it. Today, Karen and I are going to show you the actual proper way to wear it. You'll notice Karen's only got it over one shoulder. This gives Karen an out. What I mean by an out, this is going to help her stay safe. My objective is knowing that she's wearing a backpack, that still may be my point of attack. It's also going to be her point of getting free and away from a perpetrator. Because what we're going to do is I see Karen, what I'm looking for is that backpack that I can get a hold of, and what I'm going to do is grab for the backpack, and it falls right off of her shoulder, and she can escape. Sure, I still have her information. I know where she goes to school. I've got her iPod, her cell phone. And parents, this is where you want to be very careful about what you put in your child's backpack. The only thing that should be in there is the necessities for school. They don't need their cell phone. They don't need their iPod. They don't need personal information. You know, books are fine. They have to have those for school. But any of that pertinent information, I'll take everything and I'll find out everything I need to know about your child, which is wrong for the perpetrator. We can get contacts off the cell phones. All that information should not be in the backpack. That should be carried separate from this, because you can see how quickly somebody can take this from your child. Make sure that there's not a lot of information in this backpack. I want to take this time to thank you for visiting in the Dr. Stacy Safety segment. In this series, we taught you and your family how your child could remain safe in a threatening situation simply by how they carry and possibly use their backpack to stay away and get away from an abductor. Thank you for visiting, and remember, stay safe.
Thank you, Ben and Karen, for that informative information on how a child could use their backpack as a tool to keep themselves safe. Hopefully you, our viewer, looked at the information and found it informative enough to share with your child and showing them how they can use their backpack to protect themselves at school, on the way to school, or even on the way home from school. Now, in future segments of the Dr. Stacy Safety segment, we're going to visit with Ben and Karen a little bit more, and they're going to show us some more opportunities on how your child can utilize their backpack as a safety tool. Well, let's don't waste any more time. Let's get back to our cases. This case is of Lucy Meadows. Lucy's photographs, as you can see, has been age progressed by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children to represent what she could possibly look like at the age of 13 years. She was reported missing at the age of 3. Reports are that she was last seen in the parking lot of the Rivergate Mall in Goodsville, Tennessee. It is reported that her mother took her out of the car, set her out by the driver's side, went around the car to recover something from the other side of the car, and when she looked back up, Lucy was gone. Earlier I introduced you to the case of the Campbell County Jane Doe. At this time I'd like to introduce you to the Greene County, Tennessee Jane Doe unidentified child. This unidentified female was beside I-81 in Royal Greene County, Tennessee on April 14th of 1985. The deceased was estimated to be between the ages of 15 and 17 years. The unique part in this case is that the deceased was approximately 6 weeks pregnant at the time of her death. She also had a slight overbite. The images that you see are facial reconstructions completed by a forensics artist. Features such as eye color, hairstyle, are all artist interpretations to complete the image and should not be used as significant markers for identification. Well, everyone, that brings a close to another episode of The Missing. I hope that the information that we presented to you on the cases that we showed in this episode was enough information so we can work together as a team to identify these children and to locate those children and bring them home safely to their families. I also hope that the information in the Dr. Stacy Safety segment was informative, and you'll be able to use that information to help protect your children. As always, keep your children educated, keep them safe, and continue to watch The Missing. I'm your host, Scott Davis. God bless.